How are my YouTubers out there? Once again, it's your boy Tim Baxter, your fish guy, with another informational video here on this Sunday afternoon. Check this out. I get asked the question all the time when people, family, friends see this fish tank and see how large it is. They say, wow, man, it must take you all day to clean that fish tank and to maintain that fish tank. I could not possibly in a million years keep a fish tank that large. And I tell them all the time, hey, it took me years to know how to maintain a tank, regardless if it was small or medium-sized tank. It didn't matter. Long as I made the adjustments when it came to this tank and I used the knowledge that I read over the many years, researched, hey, it doesn't matter. But a lot of people with this sort of tank and this size of tank, it intimidates them. They think that the more tank that you have, the more issues and the more things that will come up in a large tank. That is irrelevant. What is most important for you to do is the knowledge of just keeping and being in the mindset of, guess what? I need to know how to keep a life support system for my fish. If you really enjoy seeing your fish, displaying your fish, that's the whole idea. If you do the knowledge, then guess what? You can achieve or advance to a large tank like this. And once again, on a daily, guess what I do? I basically just check my temperature, all my thermometers that I have in the tank, which I have two on both ends. Once again, it's depending on what kind of fish you actually keep. I keep all South American fish, of course, cichlids that need a little bit higher temperature than normal fish. So guess what? I make sure that those temperatures are just right on a daily, because guess what? If something is wrong with my temperature, guess what? Then I know something is wrong with my heaters. So one maybe has failed, or guess what? One is a little bit higher than other. You would like to have your temperature even throughout the whole tank, okay? That's a big must. Another thing, once again, when you get into this whole fish hobby thing, you need to know and understand your equipment. Your equipment is what runs your life support system for your tank on the daily, day in, day out, week by week, year by year, okay? You need to get familiar with it. I double check all my heaters, once again, going with the temperature. Then I look at my circulation pumps, make sure they're all in line and they're circulating the water fine. And then guess what? I check my lighting, which that's going to be a daily thing anyway, because you're going to turn the lights on. So you take care of knocking that out. And then guess what? I look at my filtration system. You know, I see if they're running properly. I check the hoses, make sure that the hoses are tight and snug as far as the whole filter system is concerned. I make sure my electrical and everything, as far as plugs and everything is running just right in these areas as far as electrical. And like I said, my air pumps, seeing if the flow of the air is actually circulating through the lines. And just double check everything that I have on a daily basis to make sure that this tank is running properly. It's an easy fix. It's not nuclear science or nuclear problems that's just going to be this big thing that everybody thinks that this tank comes with. It's very simple. And then on a daily basis, guess what? I have what we would call in an aquarium hobby, a glass scraper. It's a magnetic glass scraper that, guess what? It actually cleans the side of the glass. And I do that maybe every 2 to 3 days at the most. It keeps my glass clean of debris. I don't have to go inside my tank and actually physically brush out the tank and do all those things. I use my glass scraper, okay? Invest in that. If you don't have one, please get one. It can save you a lot of time in such of cleaning your glass, okay? You know your equipment to make things easier for you, okay? Another thing, if you have big algae blooms in your tank, you might need to cut the light source that you have down as far as the hours that you actually have your lights on a daily basis. That will cut down on the algae and the algae buildup on your equipment, your plants, and your rocks and things like that. So you won't have to do all the extra scrubbing and doing all the extra cleaning of your tank. Once again, these things have been trial and error for me over the many years that I have kept tanks. Nothing, like I said, that's major, that's so, you know, overbearing that you cannot do this. You know, once again, if you have the passion and the love for what you do, you will definitely dive more into it. You will go hard on it. You will try to get it and learn as much knowledge as you can to be successful. That's what it's all about in this hobby. This hobby has shown me to be confident in so many ways in learning how to basically keep these fish alive, okay? And to keep them healthy. That's the biggest thing too, because guess what? If I want to actually enjoy displaying these fish or having these fish as a relaxation tool, guess what? I got to learn how to keep them alive, okay? And a big thing with the weekly checks, what I do, I actually just test my water on the daily too. I test my water. I kind of, you know, slip a little bit and go some days without it. But on the weekly, my weekly is also definitely checking my water, seeing if there's any chemical changes in my water, okay? And then guess what? If that's the case, I do a water change. Got to do water changes, okay, people? That's a biggie in the fish tank keeping hobby. You got to do your water changes, okay? So that's basically taking a percentage of the water out and putting clean water in. My monthly checks is basically cleaning out my filters, putting new filter elements in them. As you can see, there's a stack that makes up the filters, and in each one of those stacks are filter elements that the water actually goes through and cleans the water, and also provides bacteria, good bacteria, as it's changed. And guess what? It purifies or cleans the water, okay? That's my monthly. And with my monthly checks, I also double down on checking my electrical, okay? Everything that's electrical, and make sure nothing is wearing down, nothing is actually tearing up or getting old or anything like that, okay? But on a daily basis, I also just look around my tank, make sure there's nothing out of order or like I said, anything that I see that's unusual. Other than that, hey, once again, Aquatics 101 is simple. It's not a big task. I don't care what kind of tank you do have, but for all the tank people that have, guess what, large tanks as I do right here, once again, just because the tank get larger and the volume of water get larger doesn't mean that it's going to be a harder task to keep a fish tank like this. Oh, and one time I forgot this biggie. You want to, on a daily basis, look at your fish. You want to look at your fish, each individual fish, take the time out, check for any disease or anything that you can possibly see from your fish that's unusual. You know, fish that doesn't eat or shine away or, you know, kind of swimming funny. You want to look for those certain things in your fish. Guess what? Those are key indicators that something is wrong, okay? From, it may be your water, maybe that your fish is old, maybe that your fish is actually, like I said, have some type of certain disease. Then you want to get the fish out of there so it won't contaminate other fish that you do have, okay? But definitely you want to look at your fish on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and make sure, look at that chocolate. That chocolate cichlid is beautiful. Look at them. Look at them. Once again, I will make another video on fish species and why did I choose these species of fish. And I've been actually having these species of fish for a long time, and why do they suit me as a Aquarius, even though I've had different fish in the past. But that's another video. Once again, if you like the video, If you don't like it, the good, the bad, the ugly, guess what? I'm all open-minded to everything. You know what I'm saying? All your questions of keeping a large fish tank as this. And guess what? Once again, like I always do, peace, many blessings. And guess what? If you want to subscribe to my channel, hey, the subscribe button is on the right. All right? All right. Check this out. Have a good afternoon and peace out.